All right, today's video, and I've already recorded this once, but I just start talking and talking and going for too long. Before I know it, 30 minutes has gone by, and this is a topic that should not take 30 minutes. It should be really quick and simple. I want to talk video game trades, when it's good, when it's bad. First and foremost, to get out of the way, that this is just my opinion. It is not something you should stick to, and this is not to dig on anyone else. This video was triggered because of some videos that I watched this week where people have done some trade-ins, and it just, it hurt seeing it happen because they're always getting raked over in the trade value. It stung. And this is coming from a person who recently did a trade at an expo, but again, I went into it. I explained that in the last video of why I did it. There was a plan behind the means, and in the end, I still got 75 to 80% of the value of what the stuff in was out that was worth with the trade-ins that I did. That's way above what you normally see at trade-ins at stores and stuff, where it's normally 40 to 60%. But there were reasons I explained in there. I needed to find stuff easier to move because the stuff I was trading in I didn't want just wasn't moving. Even at discounted for other people, just people didn't want the stuff. So I got liquid stuff that people did want. And most of that stuff is already gone as of recording this one. And I just wanted to talk about other ways and other means you can go about maximizing the profit. And it's not saying, hey, this game is worth 200 bucks. I want 200 bucks for it. It's just showing you that there's other ways, especially ways in helping out fellow collectors, where you're going to get more money than what the game store is going to give you, and you're also helping out a fellow collector in the same time, which there's no better feeling than helping out a fellow collector. So first and foremost, before I jump all over the place here, what are the main reasons people are going to trade their stuff in? Just from my experience and what I see in the real world, I'm not just talking about like YouTube stuff. Most of the time, if you're in a game store and you're seeing someone else come in, I see them coming in to trade their stuff away just because they need the money. They want the finances back, whether they're out of collecting and they don't want to do it anymore, or whether it was just a dumb purchase. Hey, maybe it was a yard sale fine and they're just coming in to get quick cash and trading it in. I don't know. Most of the time, though, they're coming in because they want the money for it and they're hitting the road. And most game stores, if you do just a sell transaction with them, it's 30 to 40% range on the game, depending on what it is. You do trade-in credit with stuff, you tend to get a bump up in your credit because you know the store's pretty much keeping your money because you're trading in for something, and they'll bump it up. You get that 60% range style. Sometimes if you got a big heavy hitter game, might even bump it up a little bit more because I normally don't trade anything. I keep a lot of my games. I don't want to have traders regret, traders remorse, because that's what everyone seems to have. What happens? Someone goes and they trade their stuff in, and it could be years later. They're like, man, I wish I didn't do it, because I'm going through it with the Xbox 360 right now. 10 years ago, was done with the 360. I was figuring I was going to play my PlayStation 3. All the games were more valuable for that system at that time, and they still are. Most of the games, if they were made for both systems, they were more for the PS3. I was like, you know what? I'll start getting PS3. I'll be done with the 360. So I got rid of all that stuff. Now I'm regretting it. I'm having to go through and rebuy all the PS or the Xbox 360 stuff again that I want before that all shoots through the roof because Xbox Live on that and stuff is shutting down. So I'm going through that. We all go through traders, regret, remorse. So personal advice would be, try not to trade anything if you can deal with it. If like for me, when I went to this expo, I made sure to save up and have my discretionary funds that I wanted to spend on video games. So I take that money, put it toward video games, no more, no less. And as you saw from that video, I brought home way more because everything was too high there. But we all go through the phase where you're kind of done with something. Maybe you're going to be done with your GameCube. You don't care to want to collect for it anymore. You want to do, where's it at? Wii U. So you're going to trade in all the GameCube stuff so you can get as many Wii U things. Happens all the time. But then what happens? Man, I really wish I had this GameCube game here I could play. So we all go through the trader's regret. So if you can, just don't do it. But if you are going to do it, there are certain things I would trade to the store, and there are certain things I would just go by other means. Now, what's the stuff I would trade to the stores? This right here. This is a box of leftovers pretty much from garage sales this summer that I don't feel like wanting to list this stuff on eBay, because this is like things that people really don't have interest in. Who wants another copy of Halo 3? And a lot of this stuff is all doubles. I already have it, or I just don't care to want it. We have Lego games, UFC, like all sorts of stuff. Then we got a little bit kind of nicer stuff like Knights of the Old Republic on the Xbox. Got some Call of Duties and some sports games that have a little bit more value to them, not over the top. Like 2K7 here, College Hoops, and the 15. Only reason I don't want it is because there's a stinking Blue Devil on it, and this is a Tar Heel home. No offense to any of you Blue Devils out there, but Tar Heels all the way. So that's the kind of things I would take to a game store to go trade in, because stuff that's hard to move, no one's going to be coming to ask, hey, or look through your eBay or anything like that to want to get stuff like that. Stuff I would go by other means, though, to move would be a game like this Pokemon White version 2. Now, this ranges from anywhere from, what, 150 to 180, depending on the day you'll want to sell it on eBay. But if you go to a game store, how much are they going to give you trade-in credit for it? Take a guess. What do you think? Most of the time, you're doing 40 to 60%. Because people want what? You want cash for it? It's going to be near that 30 to 40% range. What I did was, for example, I went ahead and called a game store to see how much they would give for it. I'm going to play the recording from you, even though I think like playing stuff like that is illegal, so I'm sorry. But I'm not the game store when they mention their voice or anything, I'll bleep it out. I don't even think they mentioned it when I called the game store. But I'll let the call play out so you can hear. It's like complete in box copy. How much would you get for it? I tried calling 4 or 3 others. 2 of them just went to a voicemail, and the fourth one, they would not give me a quote over the phone. They said they needed to hold it in person to see the quality. Even I told them it was minty, everything, they still wouldn't give me a quote. So I'll go ahead and play the first call for you right now.
How can I help you?
Yes, I was calling because I was interested in how much trade-in credit you could get for a copy of Pokemon White version 2.
Just a moment.
No problem, take your time, man.
In-store credit, you said?
Yes, sir.
So assuming it is a legit copy, which no reason to doubt that, you would be gaining $65.60. If for whatever reason, if the reproduction that you happened upon or got tricked into getting, be a fair bit cheaper, or less rather. But yeah, $65.60 for in-store credit for that.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Not a problem.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, as I minimize myself, but you heard that right. Like $60-something for the complete in box copy for trade-in credit at that game store. Yikes! As you can see from the prices here, from eBay wise, like I said, 160 something up to the 179 with free shipping. You can get way more by selling it online, but I can understand it's a hassle. Then if you take in the fees and stuff for an account, yeah, you might come away with 140 out of the deal for doing that. If it's a game, if you're wanting to really part with your Pokemon White version 2. So yeah, we're missing out big time on our profits, because if we're trading it in, that means we're wanting to put it toward trade credit for another game. We're not selling it. We have aspirations and intentions of getting a new game from that game store or console or whatever it is. That's why you're trading it in. We want to get the most we can for it, right? It looks like maybe you should do eBay, but let's check out some other websites here. I have them up to see how much trade credit they would offer. Now there is a website, eStarland here. I already have the cart filled with it, so you're going to see here of what they would offer. eStarland for a used complete copy would give you 117 bucks. All right, so you're doing a little bit better there. You can go ahead and trade into eStarland. You're getting a good amount of credit for it. And yeah, you can go ahead and use that credit for anything in their store. Let's see what they sell it for though. they sell it for 200. So they're going to be making like what, 80 bucks off of you from that transaction and everything. So they make their profit. You made more than what the local game store was going to give you. There you go. So not too bad. Even though they said you get 130 here, but I didn't see that in my selection. I don't know how that works. And then we have here old DK Oldies. They sell the game for 239 bucks. DK Oldies has those markups. So if you want to sell it to them, let's see. This is a Nintendo DS game. If it's on the list here, there it is. Pokemon White version 2. They'll give you 90 bucks. So not even half the price of what they're selling it for at DK Oldies is what they're paying for it. Man, yikes, that's... Woo! So what would I do? And honestly, I have my number one go-to up on the screen right now. This is what I would personally try to do. And it's Facebook Online Marketplace, or if you have other collector friends. And what do I mean by that? You can see here on Facebook Marketplace, it's going to be hit and miss. All right, as we wet our throat here. Right now, it's looking like, man, East Starland should be the way to go. If they have a game you're wanting to get while it's in there. Now, mind you, it might be marked up too. So even though you're getting that more value in trade-in credit, what do we want? We want, say we're going for some GameCube. What do we want? Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness. Maybe we want that for the collection. All right, so they have it here. 244 bucks, we can get it complete. Bam, so it knocked off a good chunk. Bring up our calculator here. You guys won't be able to see it because I'm not screen grabbing it. 244 minus the 117. $127 difference. Now, let me go to here on eBay. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. What is it selling for here? Alright, so Gale of Darkness. 210 range. Okay, so as you can see, you could get it cheaper on eBay. Alright, so if we sold our copy of Pokemon White version 2 on eBay and we got the 140 or so in after fees and everything, we got 140, and we bought the high-end copy here, 225. Difference of 85 bucks. So you're going from $100 and something difference to an $85 difference. Maybe you should still go the eBay route. So you see how they can still kind of get you on some of these sites. And even in game stores, they got stuff marked up. Sometimes you're going to have people who are listing stuff like right at market value or over market value. But you can discuss and negotiate back and forth, so on and so forth on Facebook. Now, what I like about Facebook is for games, especially not for those little piddly games, games like a Pokemon White version 2. You can list this up on Facebook, not for its market value. If you want this to move quick and meet someone locally, you can list this thing for 120 bucks, which they were offering 117 trade-in credit at East Starland. So you could list this for 120, 130 even, and it would move like that. That's how fast a game like Pokemon White version 2, or you could go even less. Like the game store locally was only going to give 66 bucks for it. So if that's your only option, like, hey, maybe I could get 100 for it, put it on Facebook Online Marketplace, because at least then you could possibly be helping out a fellow collector who might have really wanted this game, and they can get it for way cheaper than the market value. You see what sites are selling it for, 170, 240, 200, and you're selling it to them for 100, but you're still getting more than what the game store was going to give you for it as trade-in credit, and you're also helping out a collector. Maybe it won't be a collector, it could be someone who's going to go and flip it, you never know, but you're still going to get more than what you would at the game store. And I'd rather help out a collector one-on-one than feed the game store and let them make such a big profit on it. Even though I love game stores because they have stuff there that I want to get and they help supply games to us, I like helping out fellow collectors too. So I would go through the couple extra steps. I know it can be annoying and irritating taking pictures of stuff and having to deal with people, and I understand the ease of trading stuff in. It's just that simplicity and ease. But taking a step like going to a Facebook Marketplace, put it on for locally, making that connection with another local collector. It's awesome. It's happened to me so many times during the summer, and it's incredible meeting the fellow collectors around here, or once you are going out in yard sales and stuff too that you didn't even know about. You start trading and stuff back and forth. It's an awesome way to be doing business and dealing with people and growing your collection and getting the most out of trades, than just going to a game store. You can see like this guy's selling a N64 with Mario Kart for only $100. That's a really good deal, especially if that has an expansion pack inside of it. So there's deals on this Facebook online marketplace, and then other times there's just crazy stuff. But as I make myself bigger again, take up the whole screen, do whatever you want to do. Like the Hodge twins say, all of this is just advice. It's just advice, that's all it is. You can go out there and trade in your video games however you want to trade your video games in. I could care less. I'm just trying to help and point you in a better direction, because there could be ways you can help yourself more and you can help out a fellow collector more than just feeding the game stores, okay? So think about it. I know it could be easier to go to the game store. That's the main reason. Again, I'm not hating on anyone who does it. It just got triggered by seeing some videos where I could see, man, they could just get so much more. If they're going to trade it in for this much money, if they're going to trade in Earthbound for $150, then sell it to someone who really could probably want it for $150, you know, instead of wanting to pay the $300 or $400 for it. Just stuff like that. It's just, man. Anyways, what do you guys think? What are your tips below? Do you like trading your stuff in, getting that trader's regret and having to go through it and buy it all again like I have to? No more trades for big old stuff like that for me. No, that stuff is done. I keep all my heavy stuff. That stays in my collection. So what do you guys think? Leave in the comments below, and I'll see y'all on the next one.